Right, folks, welcome back to the channel. Here it is, BMS 4.34. The build-up is over. I'm finally in and starting to kind of learn the thing. And what I thought I'd do is I've gotten into the campaign, tried a few different bits and pieces, just trying to get up to speed with how the sim works. Now that I have a good understanding of it, I'm going to launch an actual campaign that I'm going to try and stick with now for the next, well, until the campaign's done, really. So I thought I'd bring you in and show you a video of how I go about setting up the campaign. I should say I called it out before in the transition video that I put up before about the different resources. One of the guys' videos that I've watched to help me set this up is Lorik Eolmin's video about how to set up a campaign. I think Max Waldorf has one as well. So those guys have some awesome resources. I'll include a link to their videos in the description below. So the first thing you're probably noticing is this is a tiny little screen. The reason why is because I run BMS in windowed mode. It's got to do with alt-tabbing out and stability when you're alt-tabbing. So I run it in windowed mode and I'm on a 4K monitor. And obviously this 2D interface was written to be, I think, something like 800 by 600. Obviously it's 22 years old, so that was the resolution that they were aiming for back then. It doesn't particularly work on a 4K monitor because my eyes are bleeding just trying to read the thing. So the unfortunate, the only way that I've found around this, unfortunately, is to use the Windows magnifier. So if I magnify the screen a bit, I can get it at least a little bit bigger. It's, again, a hokey workaround, but it works for now. Right, so this is the screen here. You can set up different theaters. I'm not going to use any different theaters. I've only got the theater that ships with BMS 4.34, which is the Korean Theater of Operations. I think there's a TVT, a team versus team version of it as well, but I think that's for multiplayer. So I'm just staying in the Korean Theater of Operations. If when I'm ready, what we can do is, when we're ready, what we can do is go over to Campaign and click on Campaign, and we go to New Campaign. You can see that there are 6 different campaigns available. These first 3, Tiger Spirit, Rolling Fire, and Iron Fortress, are the first campaigns that came with with Falcon 4.0 way back in 1998. These 3 are newer ones that have been developed by the guys at BMS. I'm not going to use those for now. I've never flown them before, so I want to focus on ones that I think are a little bit more stock. In this case, I'm going to use the Rolling Fire campaign. Basically, this is an easier campaign to start with. Rolling Fire is a kind of balanced start with the red versus blue being roughly equal, and Iron Fortress is you're getting your ass kicked and you have to recover the position. I don't trust myself enough to try that one, so we're going to try Rolling Thunder. Now what we're going to do is there are different squadrons around that we can select. I'm going to select, I think the difference between the blue ones and the green ones are kind of like coalition airfields, so mostly where Americans are, whereas these blue ones are predominantly Korean. So I'm going to go to this green one here. This is Kunsan Air Base, and I'm going to, you can see that there's different squadrons. I'm going to take the 80th. Now it doesn't particularly matter which one you take because you can change it in the campaign engine itself, but I'm just going to take the 80th for now. You can see they're flying Block 40s. I'm going to change that, and I'm going to show you how to change that using something called the Mission Commander. So there it is. We're going to take the 80th, and we're going to commit to that. So here are the campaign priorities. You don't have to set anything here. You can leave this untouched, and headquarters will set everything for you. I don't like to do that, though. The reason why is because headquarters tries to get you to get back here and strike some of these strategic targets or interdict targets long before they get to the front line. And early in the campaign, that's an incredibly dangerous thing to do. The red, we don't have anywhere near air superiority, and so the red air forces, the North Korean air forces, are quite potent at this stage, and we want to see if we can kind of focus on defensively, maintaining a defensive position around the demilitarized zone and just stopping red forces from advancing south of the demilitarized zone. So what we can do is packs allow you to set geographic priorities, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go all to these kind of northern ones and diminish or lower down the priorities for those areas. So then that way we don't get kind of fragged to try and go back there and hit targets, because it's going to be too dangerous right now this early in the campaign. So you can just click on each of these areas and set its geographic priority where you want. And then when we get here, we're going to start to increase some of these. This is the area, no, not here. Let's keep you there. These are the areas right around here. We're going to set that because this is right around where the DMZ is. And so we're going to increase these priorities to very high. And that one as well. And these ones will keep around 1. We'll keep that one there. In fact, let's make them all about half. Make you half. Make you none. Oh, I don't know why that happens. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that looks good. So basically focus our efforts in these areas here. I might increase that one up a little bit though. Yeah, and this one, let's keep this a little bit lower. So that's our focus right now in terms of geographic area. Then you can set the mission types. And this basically is what you want to target, what the different types of missions that you can fly. So offensive counter-air, basically hitting enemy airfields, we're going to drop that down a bit. We want to hit some, but not too many. SAM suppression, though, way high. Air interdiction, so this is interdicting ground forces before they get to the front line. Let's keep that low. Close air support, incredibly high. Strategic strikes, come back. Strategic strikes, low. Anti-shipping, we're going to drop that down. Defensive counter-air, we're going to put that way up. We're going to see if we can keep enemy aircraft out of our back areas, out of our logistics areas. Reconnaissance, we're going to get that low. Come on back. I don't know why that happens. Right, so those are our kind of mission type priorities. And then in terms of target types, these are the a finer level of granularity based on what you were just putting in. Aircraft, we're going to push those, we're going to keep that around the middle. Airfields, though, we're going to put that low. I think it was about there. Move that up a little bit. Air defenses, very high. Radar, low. Relatively low. Army, low. Command control communications, low. Come on back. Infrastructure is broadly bridges, low. Logistics, bridges, low. Logistics, low. War production, low. For now, anyways. We might change that later on, but for now, low. Naval bases, low-ish. Armored units, high. In fact, let's go full. Infantry units, quite high. Artillery units, full. Support units, low. Navy units, low. And there's our target priorities. So we've set those target priorities. Now we're going to go OK. Now, can we go to the ATO? We can. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Order Battle. And we're going to go to the... has it set anything yet? There we go. So if we go to Kunsan, I'm going to go to the 80th, and we're going to find them. We're going to go Info, and we're going to turn that off. I'm going to show you why in a second. Well, I'll tell you now. If we left this on, as soon as we hit Start, HQ would start fragging packages for us, and we'd have to, if you want to use HQ fragged flights, fine, no problem at all. What I like to do is frag our own, we create our own targets and frag our own packages to go and take those targets out. So in this case, we're going to tick off set by HQ. And close that and close that. And there we go. We click on OK. And here we go. The campaign has started. Now you see no frag order. We've got nothing in the frag order yet, and that's because we're not fragging any packages, and neither is HQ. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the final few things that I do to get the campaign set up, and then I'll kill the video there, and then I'll start the next video with fragging my first package. So just in terms of setting up the campaign, you can see that if we go back to the air tasking order, no, not this one, sorry, the order of battle, and we go back to the 80th, we go to status, you can see that they're flying. Can you see it here? Maybe not. No, you can't see it here. The aircraft they're flying are Block 40s, and I don't want to fly Block 40s. So if we kill that, what I'm going to do though is I'm going to show you something called Mission Commander. So the first thing I'm going to do is save, and we'll save it as this. I'm going to overwrite that. And I'm going to go over to my other screen and I'm going to bring in Mission Commander. There you go, File. There's the campaign, so we're going to load that in. And it's loaded it in. Now you can see units, US, squadrons, so it does give you a map so you can see everything on the map. And what you can do is you can go down to Kunsan, you can see this is where we are. If you go to units though, you can filter it based on country and that sort of thing. So I've already got it filtered to US, squadrons, and you can see the 80th there, and they're flying F-16 CM Block 40s. So if I open that, what you can do is you can go change aircraft type, and you drop this down, and go to F-16 DM-52s. So these are the Block 52s. These are the most advanced version. Is it DM or CM? Yeah, CM-52s. That's what I want. CM-52s. So that is the most, I'll just double check. This is the most up-to-date version of the F-16 that you can fly. Yeah, that's the one. The most up-to-date US version. There are Block 60s, and in fact, I think Lockheed Martin's even proposing a Block 70 to, I think, India as a potential aircraft for one of their modern procurement programs. But in this case, the Block 52 is the one that we're going to fly. So we click on Apply, and you can see it's changed these to be CM-52s. Now, the issue, I suppose, is that we only have, not 3D model, we only have 2 skins that are available to us. In fact, close, view 3D model, I think it is this. So if we go here, yeah, we've got this one, and then there's another one. I think there's a South Korean one, or sorry, South Carolina one. But doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the skin doesn't quite match. Perfect. So we've now got Block 52 aircraft. So we're going to close that. Sorry, we're going to go Apply. We're going to go File. Hello, File, Save. Save. Okay. Right. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to go back over here. We're going to go back. No. 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 We're going to go to Saved. We're going to go that. And you can see that the 80th is now flying CM-52s, Block 52 aircraft. So we're going to click on that. Now this pops back up again. It should have saved. It has from the previous setup, so we'll just click on OK. Now I'm going to do that fancy zoom in thing again. There we go. And the last thing I'm going to do is just show you a couple little tricks that I do. So I'm going to be operating in this area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up some what's called pre-planned threat steer points. So if you look at these are surface-to-air missile systems, air defense battalions. And in this case, this is an SA2. This is an SA2. And this, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's an SA2. So you've got 3 SA2 sites right there. There are 18 launchers just in these 3 sites here. So that's a very dangerous area. So what we're going to do is we can do something called set up pre-planned threat steer points. That's an SA2. You can set up all kinds of different threat steer points. In this case, we're going to leave it on SA2, and we're going to click on Accept. And then we're going to move that guy right over top. And then we're going to do the same thing for these guys up here. Now, what this does is not only in the campaign engine here, in the map, do you get a sight, a visibility of what surface-to-air missile systems are there, but when I'm in the jet and looking at the HSD, where all the waypoints are, the steer points are, you'll see these threat rings. And in fact, when you start trespassing in these threat rings, they change to red in the jet, which tells you, hey, you're trespassing on an SA2 site right now, so be careful. Very important. The other thing I like to do is I like to know visually in the jet when I'm going from kind of friendly areas into areas that's controlled by the enemy. And so what you can do is you can set a line in this map, and you do that by right-clicking, going to set steer point lines, and then additional steer point in point in line 1, and do the same thing here, and just keep doing this. And what it's doing is it's drawing and connecting these lines together. You can see. And there we go. One over here. And one more up here. So you can see that black line with these dots. Now, when I'm in the jet, it's going to show those. It's going to show these points in the HSD of the jet. So I'll be able to see where enemy and friendly forces are. Now I can do this for all kinds of other kind of threat steer points. We've got this. This is an SA2, so we could set this as a threat steer point. I'm not going to be flying up around here yet, so I'm not going to do that. I just want to know where these three are. And interesting with that steer point thing, it doesn't have to just be a threat. You can put in, the coders have put in all kinds of stuff in here. So, base defense zone or CSAR range or egress point. You could put all these different things in. Target cap point. All these different points in, and it gives you, again, a visual reference in the jet of what to be looking for, which is kind of cool. Right, that's it in terms of setup. I'm not going to get into any more detail. I'll delete that. I'm going to end the video there, so I hope you found this useful. This is a campaign that I'm really much looking forward to flying, and I'll keep you with me as I'm flying it. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, I hope you're healthy and safe during this coronavirus pandemic. I hope your families are as well. Otherwise, that's me, Samurai, out.